I hope I don't lose my signal in here. Let's see. Just getting it all set up. Green. Let's see here. Oh, nope, I don't need to do that. Stop sharing. I'm trying to get the little things different. Admit. Get the picture turned around so I could show you guys outside. I'm hiding here in a corner. For some reason, there we go. I'm hiding here in the windowsill. You can see everything down below. Eiffel Tower, of course, there's a lot of people out today. It's gorgeous. It's cloudier now, but it has been muggy and hot in Paris all week. And today has been like perfection, like in the 70s and like a nice little breeze. And this is great. Oh, hello, Sarah. So I was just gonna sit here in the window before we start moving around. The Louvre will be closing in about 45 minutes. I'll start kicking everybody out. So, and I'm really hoping that we don't lose signal. Some places are kind of not so great for the signal, but if I lose you, just hold on and I'll jump back in. If we end up losing too much, then I'll come back tomorrow and record a video and then send it to everybody. But you can see everything. There's lots of people down here. You can watch them posing on those little things where they stand up and pretend they're touching the top of the pyramid. Okay, we'll go to the other window for another view. But I'm in the, this is the Richelieu wing, which is one of my favorites because it's always quiet, which you will see. Here's the side. That's the Denon wing right across the way from us. Otherwise known as where the Mona Lisa is. So it's usually insane over there with people. They have these little tents set up. So that's how you kind of, one side is on the hour and the other one is on the half hour. So you have to have a ticket in advance, which they might be getting rid of in a couple of weeks because the Orsay and some other ones don't have the option after September 26th. So even if you don't have a ticket, you're still able to get in everywhere. But let me see, like can you see that up there? Can you see the edge of the, so awesome. This whole wing over here, this is the northern side where I'm in right now. And this was mostly created by Napoleon III with these little shades. But this whole room has been under construction for a long time, a renovation, at least closed off. And so it just was open this time when I got here last month. So it's all these massive religious paintings. The one up there at the top with the crucifix, that was once belonged to the Notre Dame. Not one of the ones that was in there in the fire. Those are still hidden away. Okay, so I'm taking you. We're not going to go through every one of these paintings because if we went through and I explained every single thing in these paintings, we'd be here for about 4 hours. But if you follow me at all, you know that this is one of my favorite rooms in the entire Louvre. It's the Gallery Demeter, and it is the paintings by Peter Paul Rubens, all 24 of them, of the life of Marie de Medici. I could kind of go down here. This whole side is kind of a beginning of her life. And then the other side is after Henry dies, spoiler alert. So she originally had Peter Paul Rubens create 4 of these for her palace at the Palais de Luxembourg. And she liked them so much before I even got any of them finished that she requested to have, there's a collection of 24. And they start over there. The one on the left is the ones that are in the center over the door, I should say, those are actually where it starts. But the one in the middle is Marie, and then her mother and father on either side. And then it goes all the way around. Hopefully you guys can hear me because I just have my earbuds in and I'm not trying to be too loud because I hate it when people talk loudly in blue. I'll glare at them. But these ones, the one over there is when she was born on April 26th. Very good day. And these are all full allegories. You see this one has the three graces, which are like the epitome of beauty. The ones over here have fate, which is those three women who together, one of them measures the thread, one of them cuts the thread, and the other one unspools the thread. And there's no scissor in there. So it's kind of basically a nod to Marie's future life and how she's basically going to have whatever she wants. But this is when Henry sees her portrait. At the top of them, you have Juno and Jupiter, and Juno is represented also by the peacock in a chariot, and Jupiter by an eagle and a thunderbolt. And they are kind of the ideal couple. So they're actually in quite a few of these. This is when she marries her uncle by proxy, is how it worked way back then. And then it keeps going down, and that's when she arrived to Marseille. And then when she didn't get to see Henry for about 10 days in Lyon because he was busy with the mistress. But you would never know that by looking at these paintings. So it goes down. This is when she has the birth of the Dauphin. In that little cornucopia, it's a bunch of little baby heads. Kind of creepy, but that's basically about her future children. And then Henry, we'll have another painting of Henry coming up that is one of my favorites. He is always rather handsome and has really good legs. But this one is like these three, the epical series. And this was when she was coronated on May 13th, 1610 at the Basilique Saint-Denis. She finally convinced Henry to let her be coronated as queen. And when that finally happened at the Basilique, he's sitting up there above. And the next day, he was killed. So she was put into question a little bit. But it is amazing. And Jacques-Louis David got the idea for his Sacré de Napoleon from this painting. And this one is after she's basically sitting there in mourning in black, and Henry's over there getting taken away by Pluto and Saturn up to heaven because it's after he died. And this one, I love this one because I love anything with all the allegorical Greek gods and goddesses, but this one kind of doesn't really fit in with anything, but it's still really awesome. It's basically just all of the Greek gods. But those three are the same size. All the paintings are the same height, and then some of them vary by width. But this whole side over here, after Henry died, Louis XIII was too young, so she served as regent. And then when he became of age at 13, she would not relinquish the power. So she kept a hold of it until he basically held a coup and got rid of her. But this side makes it a little bit more lovely than the story actually is. That's when they exchanged the princesses. Here, over here, this one with the boat, this is basically, here she is up there going, "Here, my son, take the rudder, you could steer the ship of France," which, again, not at all how that went. You've got France standing up there holding the orb. The orb of the world is another frequent message you see in a lot of these paintings. I'm going to do I don't know if I'm going to do it on video or how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do a whole huge thing about these paintings. And, you know, one does row topless. If he pushed her out, sent her to the Chateau de Blois, and then she escaped out a window. But that doesn't, this makes it look a little bit like they're fanning her with, oh, my queen. Wasn't exactly like that. But every one of these, I love them. I sat in here the other day for 3.5 hours, going through every single painting, deciphering everything in every single painting. And I loved it. But this one, there's she and her son. Everything's just fantastic. Actually, he basically had her intercepted on her way to Belgium, took stripped her of her title and everything, and sent her away yet again. But this one, of course, makes it look like towards the end, everything is just fine. You have the allegory of time that partially covers him. So Marie is kind of grander and in that whole picture up there. So it's one of my favorite rooms. It has a whole room all to itself. They're all placed in the order that they were attended to. But she didn't get to see them all finished. And there was one of them that actually, the one where she's actually from the chateau, that was actually redone later. That was the last one to be done because the original one was about Louis sending her away, and she was pretty ticked off about it. So this is, on this side, you have a bunch more of the Flemish paintings and Rubens. And I really love this one because it is basically the foretelling to Louis of Savoy that she's going to have a son. And that's Francois Prunier, who was born today. And tomorrow's podcast episode is all about him. And this, I do have to say it's hard for me to decide if I like the art as much as I like the building, but I like them both as much. I love it. So this is this really cool staircase. You could find all these all the way throughout the Louvre. This is the Escalier Luffel, named for Hector Luffel, who was an architect under Napoleon III, who did a lot of the work back here. Look at these lights. The scary dragon things. You can see all the way down. I heard somebody one day back here saying it was very Harry Potter-ish. Kind of. But you have all these huge paintings. There's usually one over on each of these doors. I know the Louvre so well that when I walk through some of the places, I'm like, hey, where'd that painting go? Like there was one today that was missing down below by the Corbusier. I wanted to show you these ones, but a lot of people are buying them. So these are huge ones. 3 of these 4 are by Rubens. But look at this frame. Just about dying over this. Look. How gorgeous is that? But I love these paintings over here. I want to show you. Oh, let me show you this. Another window. Can you see? See that up on the hill? That's the Valley Royale below us. And of course, Sacré-Cœur. It's kind of hard to wear this mask and talk the whole time. Hopefully I don't sound like a winded old lady. Okay, there's still people over here, but I love these ones behind me because they're all the port elements. So I love this one. This one's air. Look at that. With all the birds. By Jan Boukiel. Then this one's fire, very dark. It looks like forging all these things. Some of these are just so dark. Another beautiful frame. Then you have water with, of course, goddesses. And look at all the fish. And this one is earth. All the animals. Aren't they awesome? I love these. Okay. Look at this. Look at, it's a good museum goer right there. I'm sure I'll have some bad examples for you. I love this one too. The curator. And it has like, it's a collector. All of his paintings. I got to do more research in this because sometimes these actually are famous or actual real paintings that are within the painting. And I love it when that happens. So this painting up here, and I'll show you pretty soon, but that painting up there is one of the MNRs. So I'll tell you all about those, which I'm sure you do know about, but I'll show you how to find them. I love this painting with the cherries, still life. But this one up here is an MNR. So it means it is here at the Louvre because they're trying to find the owners because it was taken during World War II. And if you look at the plaque, so when you come to the Louvre, a lot of times these plaques are wealth of knowledge. So you could find on here how it says MNR. That means it was from the National Recovery Museum. And it'll tell you on here, the end of the Second World War, 1951 to the Office de Band. So it is here at the Louvre. There's 1,800 paintings and pieces of art that are held in safekeeping at the Louvre. And I'll take you into a special little, very two small rooms. These little rooms here. Numbers 804 and 805. And I could send you afterwards, when I send you the video, I'll send you notes of where we went. It does get confusing because the Louvre has, if you see up here, there's 804 to Richelieu, so we're on the second floor. So that is how you can find them. But sometimes they use different numbers. So it'll say like Sal 17, Sal 19, which is totally different than 804, whatever. And each number is so like 804 is the second floor of the Richelieu, but then like the 700s are a different level and a different area. So and that's what corresponds with the maps that you get. So these two rooms right here, and you can see this big plaque. They just did these a couple of years ago, but this is the paintings recovered after World War II. So, and this is all about my girl, Rose Valland, right there. So she actually, the whole website and everything is actually based on the journals that she did. That she, if you don't know her story, she's amazing. She is, she was this incredibly intelligent woman. Her mother fought to get her into school. She basically was finishing one school after another. She learned German, Latin, everything. And she was really into art. And so she was actually came to Paris and she was working for Jacques Jouart, who was high up in the French museums. And then when World War II broke out, she started working at the Jeu de Paume, and he told her to stay there. That's where they actually were using as a depot for their art. The Nazis were stealing from, excuse me, Jewish collectors and different galleries and families. And she spoke German. She was very unassuming, kind of just blended right in. And she was so incredibly intelligent that she could remember every single thing that was said, everything she saw. So every single day she would go home and she would input into these journals the name of the painting, who it was stolen from, where it was stolen from, the crate, the number on the crate, the number on the train it was going, where it was going, all of this stuff. And she did this for memory every single day. If they knew, they would have killed her. And because of her, some 40,000 pieces have been recovered and returned to their home. But all of these paintings, as well as a bunch of them scattered throughout the Louvre, are all part of that collection, the MNR. So they're trying to get these back. It's not easy. You also have to have proof that this was something belonged to your family. And unfortunately, so many things were taken and destroyed from these families that they unfortunately don't have a lot of proof, which is really sad. But look at how cute this one is. I love this little one. Really cute little thing. And this one. And she's beautiful. But there's these just two little rooms. And I'll show you some other ones in the, like we just saw that other one over there. This is a Bacchana. So that's Bacchus, of course. All enjoying a little bit too much wine. She clearly had a little too much. This one. And this one appears at Delacroix. But I do love this, the Three Graces. So beautiful. And this one. But yeah, there's some, it says the 1,752 pieces of the collection, 807 of them are paintings. They're sent to different museums around the country as well. More than 50 paintings have been returned since 1951. It's not very many, but again, unfortunately, not a lot of people have proof that these belong to their family. So it's kind of sad, but I love these little two rooms. You could kind of see how close they were to the Medici Gallery. And speaking of that, you have her again, Marie de Medici. That is the only surviving painting of the royals that once filled the Gallery Demeter. There's a fire, destroyed all of the paintings, but the one of Marie. And it is a very regal painting. Her dress is painted blue, so which is the most expensive pink. It's lapis. It's made with lapis lazuli. Carol, I know Dawn and Carol, you got to be here. You could say lapis something. But it is kind of funny because she looks so strangely proportioned with her arms and her head. But it is a little odd. I love these paintings that are right next to her too, that are all these flowers. Also, another thing that drives me freaking bonkers is if you're gonna paint a painting, why do you paint that they're like, you needed to iron that tablecloth? I hate lines on tablecloths. This goes back to my event days. But you couldn't have like, you had to paint those in. But look, I love these. This one's beautiful. With all the flowers. Very Flemish. Oh my gosh, it's already done this for 20 minutes. Gorgeous. Oh, there was one I discovered the other day that I'm kind of obsessed with. But this guy's looking at it. It's this really cool one. It's the guy. It's two paintings straight ahead. To the right are other MNR paintings. I'll show you. Look at this one. Look at that frame. Don't miss the frames when you're here. one is like the party of the gods. And they're all in there. You can see the three Graces and Neptune and Juno and Jupiter. I want to freak that guy out by talking to him. And some people get weird, but I'm going to have to do a whole thing about that painting because right now I'm obsessed with allegories of like Greek and Roman gods. I got to go find my Bucanese friends and see if they can help me. But these two paintings were seized by the gypsies, by the Germans. And you can kind of always tell from far away it's going to be an M&R because there's a lot of writing on there. But usually they'll even say, like this one says, well, that one says 1951, but it's just like the other one. But they redid their website, the Louvre did, a few months ago. It was announced when I was in the hospital, and it literally like completely got me so excited and was like, I can't wait to get out of here and get back to Paris, because they redid the whole website and there's a whole thing you should look up every single MNR painting. I like to call this one like the 16th century mansplaining. She's like, shut up. He's like, let me tell you a story. This one's awesome too. Any of these, this was for an altar. 3 pieces. This is one everybody stops to look at. It's interesting to see to watch people because they stop to look at things that they think they need to stop and look at. Okay, my favorite little rooms is closed on one side. So here's one of this is a picture of Henry IV. I love this painting. This is him as Hercules. Look at the look on his face though. And his legs. It's like, hello, you have the greatest legs in monarchy history. He's squashing the demons. Maybe he has this look on his face because over here is his great love and mistress, Gabrielle Beatrice. She also draws a crowd. Snickering people. But the pinching of the nipples was something you did in pregnancy. And in her left hand, she's holding a ring, which is the coronation ring that Henry IV gave her as a promise. They were to get married. And then she died while she was pregnant. And he was devastated. And then he married Marie de Medici. This is the Funeral of Cupid. It's a little odd. Diane. Henry III over here. Poor Henry III. His mother, Catherine. He was gay. Of course, he couldn't be gay back then. So they forced him to get married, but he is not a very happy guy. Well, Catherine de Medici is your mother. I don't know how happy you could be. Here's Diane, the huntress. Pandora. We have Pandora over here again. And then we're going to go in here. Oh, okay, 15 minutes are going to start kicking us out. I'll wait a second because it's probably too loud in here. Okay, so here's our birthday boy. Happy birthday. Francois Premier. I love this painting. It's in this very dark room. It's by Jean Clouet. He painted him, and then he also painted him as Saint John the Baptist, because you're king. That's what you do. But you could see in this little room, it's very hard to see. There's another painting of Francois. But he's very regal. Again, another strange proportion. His arms are massive. But I love these paintings in here. I always feel like I'm coming to visit my friends. There's Henry II right there on the left. Henry was married to Catherine de Medici, son. He was a son of Francois Premier. There's Charles IX, their son. He's the one that, he was a little shit. He was the one that ordered the St. Bartholomew Day massacre. That's the Duc d'Alençon. We have some more on this side. Aren't these amazing though? But yeah, Francois, he was one who basically redid the whole monarchy. That brought it from medieval times to the fancy monarchy that we know of France today. So you can learn all about that tomorrow. I love any of the ones that are Saint Michael, Saint Michel, and I love this all in its gray tones. This is another favorite one of mine, not these. Not that one. That was awesome. This one right here. That was for the Parliament of Paris. And in it, it has basically all sorts of secrets of Paris. So in the top left-hand corner above that Saint Louis is the Tower of Nesle. And across from that is the medieval Louvre. So that's what the Louvre looked like long, long ago before it turned into what we know. You have Jean the Baptist again, always with a lamb. Then you have Christ on the cross. Over here we have Saint Denis holding his head. And then Charlemagne, and you have the Parliament of Paris in the background. But I love this painting because I love how you could see the Louvre. There's another one in another room that you could see Saint-Germain-des-Prés. I was hoping to take you down to the Cour Puget and the Cour Marly, but I think they're going to kick us out before I could get there, but we'll do that another time. And if there's something you guys want to see in the Louvre, please don't say Mona Lisa. I could do that. Bonjour. This is a gorgeous one. That gold. And we'll try to get down because we'll take the escalator. This is another favorite, that Saint Denis. I love Saint Denis and his whole story. This one is gorgeous too. This one has Saint Denis when he was arrested, put in prison. Then you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost up here. And then this is when Saint Denis gets beheaded with his two other martyrs. The guy doing the beheading, wearing a diaper, it looks like. Looks very evil. And then Saint Denis, of course, as we all know, picks up his head, walks it over Montmartre, and all the way to what we know today as Saint Denis, and then fell. And then that's where Saint Geneviève built a church to him. And now it's a Basilique Saint Denis, different than what she did. But then you have this guy here, Jean II, Jean Le Bon. He was also born on April 26th. Just so you know, there's quite a few of them. And then we'll try to get down there. Hopefully, is the signal working? Can you guys hear and everything? This is a Corbusier. I love it so much. I hope it's working and I'm not just talking to myself, which wouldn't be the first time.
Hey, it's Roxanne. It's working. We can hear you.
Oh, good. Oh, thanks, Rox. So we're on this little escalator. This is all part of what IMK did when he redid. He didn't just do the pyramid. He also did this whole entire thing, designing it so it doesn't look like an ugly escalator. So there's these great big marble features with the cutout circle. He also did the whole entire, the Corbusier and the Cour Marly. They used to be parking lots and part of the Ministry of Finance, which they ended up kicking out. And they ended up putting all of the statues in there because the statues were so incredibly heavy that they could go right onto the floor. But there's also elevators in the Louvre. So if you're coming to Paris and I'm here, I could take you around the Louvre because I know where all the secret elevators are and the secret bathrooms, which is even better. But I could take the elevator right now, but I figured I'd lose you. So we're going down. We'll come out here. I'll have to just do a whole nother one of a lot of the statues because I wanted to go all the way over to the other room across the way because I love all those too. But here is the Corbusier. It's named after the artist Puget, who a lot of these are by him, not all of them. But you have the four captives that once went around the statue of Louis XIV that was in Place des Victoires. And the other day when I went to Carnavalet, I saw sketches and drawings of what that statue once looked like with the four captives. I was quite excited about that. Let's go in. And then you can see those, if you see those prints on the wall, those are really cool. And they were inspired by the Medici, the Marie de Medici painting, the one of her marrying her uncle, because there's a rose in there. And the artist was inspired by that. They were supposed to just be temporary, but decided to keep them. He also did the metro stop across the way. Look at this guy. There is a marble version of this in the Tuileries just outside of the Orangerie. But this is by Barry, and he and Delacroix would visit the Jardin des Plantes, which is where the zoo is, and they would go there and watch the sketch and draw the animals to get them exactly right. And look at that, that's how awesome that is. I think that snake's gonna lose that battle. But I'd love to come in here and just sit here for hours. I like at some point they decided to put a leaf over his bits. And here, right here, we have Jeanne d'Arc. This is the Jeanne d'Arc that used to be in the Jardin de Luxembourg. She was one of the 20 women. And then she was removed because the elements were not good on her. And this was actually really different because usually she's always depicted wearing her armor, but she's not. She's just wearing a dress. She has her hand up to her ear because she's listening to the voices that were guiding her. Look, she has a crucifix there, and then she has her armor. It was like Francois Rude. I love that. Cool. I love coming in here. and the light. It's amazing. I posted a picture of her the other day. Look how gorgeous she is. Ugh, it's gorgeous. It's Echo. She fell in love with Narcissus and he rejected her. So she's supposed to turn into rocks. A rock, not rocks. That's what happens. Don't catch feelings, people. Francois Arago. Do you know his name? His name is on all those brass plaques that you see here up first, including inside the Louvre. Oh, I have been in here probably 100 hours looking at these sculptures and I can't get enough of them. Like I have notebooks where I've gone through and made notes about every single one of them, and then I'll come in here and do it again because I love it. Georges Cuvier, he was involved with the Jardin de Plantes, the Jardin de Plantes. Not my friend Jordan. Again, covering up some of the naughty bits there. And then look who we have here. What time is it? Do you think I have time to sneak in there? Look who's here. Napo. Good old Napoleon is wearing his coronation regalia. You see the bees on there. Oh my God, I love it. Literally, I do sometimes just come in here and sit here for like an hour. If I just have an hour in between things, I'll come and just sit here. Oh, I think they're trying to get rid of people. I wanted to show you Deanne. Oh. Look at the little pups. This is Oedipus, and he is a baby, and the shepherd is actually saving his life. I love this one of the Cupid. Can you see the other Napoleon in there? I could try to go in there and see if they're gonna let me. They might not. Don't you wonder sometimes who sat for these things? And how long did they have to sit there like that? I love this one because I love anything also that's Mercury. And he's attaching his winged shoes. His wing on his hat broke off. I love this, it's gorgeous. That statue down there is wind. And it used to be, a lot of the statues in here, a lot of these down here used to also be in the Tuileries. And these were the originals. They were taken out in the 70s and brought into the Louvre, and copies are placed out there. That one my grandpa actually had a picture of, and it was down outside, kind of basically where the garden, right past the Arc de Carousel ends. And it used to be out there. And so it took me a while to find that inside to copy the picture that he did. But then you also have the 4 seasons. So the guy there on the right is winter, obviously. You have spring and summer, fall. Next weekend, no, so next weekend is Patreon weekend, my favorite weekend of the year. So depending on how the timing is going to go and what's open, I'm hopefully going to do this for you from one of the places that normally is never open to the public. So I'm hoping to do that. But then maybe the next weekend we'll come back to the Louvre. So you guys let me know if there's something you really want to see. I'd love to show you more of the sculptures that are over here. Funeral of Cupid. This right here is Madame de Pompadour as Friendship. Madame de Pompadour. Here she is over here with Louis XV. She was in a play, and this is based on that play. So the right is supposed to be Louis XV. It's Vertum and Pomone, and he's supposed to be hiding as an old man, and he reveals himself as she once performed in a play at Versailles doing just that. And then sometimes I think the curators of the Louvre have a sense of humor, because over here they put Louis XV as Jupiter. Again, you see the eagle and you see the thunderbolt. And next to him is his wife as Juno, because there's the peacock. There's no chariot, but then she has to stand here, look over at her husband with his mistress, and again with his mistress. Look at how cute this is. Isn't this lovely? Of course, you have Diane again. She is a frequent guest at the Louvre. And beautiful. She usually always has a dog with her. Look at the light in here. I hope somebody's screenshotting these, but look at that. I could just stay in here forever. We have Caesar. Okay, we'll try to get you down. We'll see how far I get. Somebody has getting their photo taken. As they're contemplating art. There was a couple on the Pont des Arts this morning, and I think they were Russian, and she was sitting in there in this pretty red dress and heels, and nobody else was out but me and runners, and she was yelling at them the whole time about what to do. I didn't understand Russian, but I could understand the tone. So this right here is Louis XIV, and this is the same statue. This is a smaller version, of course, that now is gone, did not survive. It was in Place Vendôme, but forever there was a foot here, and it was just his foot, and it was a huge foot, and it was here, and I noticed this time it's not here anymore. And then I found it at the Carnavalet. Oh, I love those guys. Each one of them, they're like represent the different, oh here, they're yelling at us. They represent the 4 countries that he beat. Missy. Okay, I wanted to show you guys the Erico marker, but they're not going to let me. It's right over there. They're right behind me, so I can't. But these, see, this was missing today. And one of them over here is missing. Oh, okay. They're yelling at people to get out. It closes. So if you come in here again, Oh my gosh, how long was I muted? I just saw that comment. I just standing here talking away. Let me know if you guys could hear me. Maybe it was just muted when it came back on. Oh, a few minutes. Okay, exciting. I'm like, oh no. Here, I'll show you. Since I was walking out, okay. Well, then you didn't get to hear about my €30 dress. I got it. That I got at Monoprix today. That's exciting information you missed. Oh, here. This is my €30 dress. Look, it's super cute. It's like cotton. It's really cute. And then I got it in black too. They had it in green, but I don't think that's my color. But red sure is. So here, I'm in the courtyard. Hang on, I'll turn it around again. So you have to see my giant finger. So this is the back. This is the cour carré, basically meaning the square court. And this is the basis of the original Louvre, the medieval Louvre. These two grates kind of cover. And I love this one. Look how pretty this one is. These cobblestones on this one are just killers. Look at how pretty that is. But they are like so dangerous. But this whole side right here, oh, let's go back and see if you can see I love to peek in the window. You can see the Caritets. This side here was the first part that Francois Premier had created of the contemporary, I guess we could call it, contemporary Louvre, not the medieval Louvre. And this was a great hall that he had made that they would have balls. And then when he died, his wax effigy was placed here on a coffin, and they sat around him eating. You could see her. Can you see her? Ooh, that's a cool picture. Can I screenshot that at the same time? Hopefully I won't lose everybody. Oh yeah. But that's the Caritets right there. And it's called the Saudi Caritets. I love me a Caritet too. And now it's old sculptures, of course. But this part was first, and then Henry II, after Francois died, he didn't get much more done. So Henry II had the mirror image created on the other side. This side was the next over here at the apartments, the winter apartments of Anne of Austria. And then Louis XIV was putting this whole back side on. And then he decided to leave Paris, go to Versailles. So he never finished it. It didn't have a roof on it. It didn't get completed until Napoleon. Quite some time. You had Louis XV in there, Louis XVI. You had a lot of people in there, and Napoleon finally finished it. But it has all these really cool allegories. And they also have all the initials. So we did that one video one time where it was like, I wanted to show all of these, and we'll do it another time. And I could do a bunch of the statues in the front. But this is where you have all the initials. So the H is Henry II, and above that is the H, and I say a C or I say it's a D for Diane. Some people say it's a C for Catherine, because Catherine de Medici was his wife. And Diane was his mistress, his great love. But on the sculpture that's in there of Diane, it has the H, has that same symbol on it. And I don't think Diane would have wanted the artist to put the H and C, meaning Catherine, by any means. Here, this is a glassmaker. But they all kind of left their little marks on it. You have Louis XVIII in here. You have Henry IV and a G for Gabrielle d'Actrice, which is the nipple pinching gal. You have the K for Charles IX. K was like, it's like the Latin way to say Charles. I can't remember what it is, but that's what the K is. We kind of need to clean these. So usually they're back here. Usually at this time of the year, you can't get back here because Louis Vuitton basically takes it over and creates a huge entire set that they use for Fashion Week. And normally by now they would be building this, because they built it last time. It was, every fall, it's like they build it for like 8 weeks for like a 15-minute show. But they haven't done it yet. So I'm assuming they're not, which is good, because I still need to come back here, and I was going to actually draw out the whole entire thing and where all the initials are and where all the sculptures are and what all the sculptures are. And you know that my sketching ability is just out of this world. I'm being sarcastic. Look, Mercury. See his feet. Yeah. So that's the Kuakare. I love it. I walk through here almost every day. I didn't go to the Louvre. When I'm doing tours, I don't get to come here as much unless I'm bringing people to the Louvre. So this week I got to take advantage of it, because then this week I have a few tours, and the week after I have tours every single day, twice a day for 10 days straight. And I'll be bombarded with the Louvre. So he says, "You are there again every day." So yes, I am. I love it. I'll come tomorrow because it's Monday and it's closed Tuesday. Tuesday's supposed to rain. But this is my little walk every day. That's usually where the library is, the entrance to my dental library. But they've been doing construction, so you have to go through these little metal corridors to get there. And of course, you all know what this is. If you see in my Instagram stories from this morning, at about 8:30 in the morning, there's nobody here but me and the runners and the Russian couple. He was getting yelled at what to take pictures of her. And now it's packed with people. So I will leave you guys here. I think that because when I lost signal, I missed some comments. It didn't save them. So hopefully everything on this, I can spice it all together and save it for you. I'll send it to you, and I'll send you where we were in the Louvre. And yeah, it's another beautiful day in Paris. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful Sunday. I wish mine was just starting again. Wish I could go back in time every day, so I could go from Paris time to West Coast time and extend the day every single day, but it doesn't work like that, does it? So I will leave you guys here with a glimpse of busy Paris. It's actually pretty quiet everywhere. There's just certain places that are busy. When I was walking over here, they had every scam going on at once on the Pont des Arts. They had somebody with the bracelet scam, and they had the guys that were, they have the 3 cups, and then they have the people standing next to them. Might as well just take you over there, right? They have the guy watching, and they pretend that he just won like 50 euros. And so then they get people to do it because they think, oh, I could win 50 euros. And it's a total scam. That you don't want to tell people it's a scam, because the guys get pretty nasty. But the girls with the clipboard were out here too, which are really annoying. So yeah, look at this. Not so bad, huh? All right, I'll leave you guys here. And I hope you have a lovely day, as I'm looking into the sun, so I probably won't be able to see you. But I hope you guys all have a lovely, lovely rest of your Sunday and enjoying it. And hopefully it's nice and sunny where you are. As you could tell, it's gorgeous and beautiful here. So I will see you soon. And hopefully next Sunday, we'll bring you inside one of the Patrimoine locations. And I will put it on Facebook. I'll figure that out the next day or so. And I will see you then. Bye, guys. I figure out how to turn it off.